Merry Christmas and happy holidays, everyone. Grab a hot cocoa and sit back and enjoy this special edition of Sin City Beat as we recap the best and worst moments from 2025 and look ahead to 2026.
From Las Vegas, this is Sin City Beat.
Welcome inside. Thank you so much for joining us on this special edition of Sin City Beat as we recap the year in Las Vegas sports. I'm Mike Davis. Sin City Beat is the show that dissects the Vegas sports world through the eyes of the sports reporters and storytellers leading the charge. Joining the action today, we have Case Kiefer, assistant sports editor with the Las Vegas Sun. Tony Cordasco, host of the Locked On VGK podcast and Triple SEN, and Q Myers of ESPN Las Vegas and host of Unnecessary Roughness on Raider Nation Radio and host of the Locked On Raiders podcast, which you can also find right here on our sister network, Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. So great to have you guys here with us. Q, I'm going to come straight out to you. Everybody at home wants to know the holiday season. Who is the Vegas athlete of the year?
I think it's A'ja Wilson. I think the Aces superstar athlete, being able to lead their team to another championship, even though they were dead in the water, looked like they were done. I think that A'ja Wilson, she checks all the boxes, right? Her leadership, what she provides on the court, the fan interaction. I mean, she checks every single box. She is that superstar that every team wants to have, and she delivers every single game. Even when they get beat by 50, she says, we ain't done, and we're going to go on a run. And they go on a run. So, I think that it would be, I think that's an easy selection to pick A'ja Wilson.
Yeah, I think she's the favorite. Of course, when you're Time Athlete of the Year, you're good enough for Sin City Beats.
Right.
Athlete of the Year as well. Case, I'm assuming you're nodding your head in unison.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's got to be unanimous. You nailed it. She's the Woman of the Year or whatever. Yep. She's got to be in Las Vegas. I know some complimentary pieces stepped up, too, as part of that championship run, but at the end of the day, she drug the Aces to another championship. Yep. Clear Athlete of the Year.
Tony?
Bam. Adebayo, of course. That was a turning point, I think, for her. Time Magazine Athlete of the Year. And just, she carried that team on her back. And after they got blown out there by Seattle, they were all upset. And she said, yeah, we're really embarrassed. And you wish that the Raiders would have that same demeanor.
Yeah.
That was the most impressive championship they've ever had.
Yeah.
It was
amazing. You know what I mean? Just the way that they were able to go about it, that was one of those you look back and were like, wow.
I left them for dead.
They were done.
They were done.
They were absolutely done.
They're done.
Mid-season, the team didn't look strong.
No.
She really drug them, as you said, Case, to a championship and really put the team on her back. So I guess my next question is, at this point, I mean, she has solidified herself as a Mount Rushmore Vegas athlete of all time. 100%, right?
For sure.
100%.
For sure.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Who else would be there with you? And, or if you'd rather not answer that, if it was in A'ja, if we couldn't select her as the Vegas Athlete of the Year, who would be your number two?
I've got an off-the-wall one. For many years, I covered mainly the UFC and mixed martial arts here. He lost his last fight, but Merab Dvalishvili, the UFC bantamweight champion, went for the record 4 straight title defenses in 1 year, lived here locally for several years, trains at Syndicate in MMA. I think he'd be my runner-up.
Really? I like that.
Well, not bad.
Yeah, Mitch Marner, of course, in the hockey world, the acquisition of Marner, and you're expecting now championships, but Jack Eichel
right
has
there,
to definitely be
there.
up there on the Mount Rushmore.
I mean, give UNLV some love too. I mean, how about Barry
Calandria.
Odom
Calandria.
But I mean, just the structure that Barry Odom brought in when he came in, and then what they got going now. I mean, I think that is now a product that you can watch and say, hey, we're really proud of what UNLV is doing on the football field, which we haven't said in how many years?
Right, exactly, and an all new roster, right?
Right, exactly. That's the thing with college football. You got to turn it over every single year.
It's just amazing
what
they did. If they could just retool that defense, they'll be okay.
Yeah, all right, so we're unanimous here on Sin City Beat. When we return, we're talking the best Vegas sports moment of 2025. Tony is batting leadoff. Don't go anywhere.
You're watching Sin City Beat.
All right, so what is the Vegas sports moment of the year? That's our next on our list right now. So Tony Cordasco, what's your top moment?
Well, it has to begin with the Aces again, as the top sports moment, capturing yet another chip. And I just think the development of A'ja Wilson, both on the court and now as a professional off the court. You know, she might have said things earlier in her career where it might have gotten people up in arms and been controversial. Now she's got all these sponsors to adhere to, so she doesn't speak as much off the top of her head. So that would be number one, the Aces. Number two, I don't know how in the world they lost to a team called the Jumbo Shrimp, but I'd have to say Aviators. Number two, they won the PCL, and then the walk-off home run by that team from Florida, and that was number two. Rebels up there, third consecutive bowl game, and the arrival of Mitch Marner in Las Vegas. Those are my top sports moments.
Okay, how about Little League? I thought, Case, you were going to maybe say something about Little League baseball, Summerlin.
I was not. I totally forgot about that, but congratulations to them, the American champions, right? They go up on the list.
That was cool.
To me, it was Aces through and through. I know we kind of alluded to it on the first segment, but really, you look at the 3 championships. The first year, it was kind of relief because they had the team. They probably should have got it done before, finally get it done. The second year, they're historically dominant. It was expected. This is the first year where I really feel like pure euphoria, you didn't think this was going to happen. They might miss the playoffs. So I think this championship really stands alone.
And it was different. The way that they were able to go get it and the different contributors, right? I mean, there's no KP this time around, and you're seeing other players that are stepping up. You're seeing players come off the bench. You're seeing younger players like Aaliyah Nye come in and try to and have a role. It just felt different the way that they went about getting this, and that's why it was so, when it happened and they go and sweep in the finals, it's like, wait, hold on, this is this team, and then they went on the 20-game stretch or whatever it was where they won in a row after getting that 50-point beat down. It was just incredible to see the turn of events where all of us, including myself, had written them off. Like, well, they're just not that good this year. Like, that was it. It's just they're just not that good this year, and then they turn around and go win the whole thing.
It's really insane. And you know what's so funny, Q? It's that still, even though she's the face of the WNBA, even though she's doing things that are just ridiculous in nature, and she really could well be on her way to be perhaps the best WNBA player ever, it still feels like the level of appreciation and notoriety is not correct for how great she truly is, A'ja Wilson.
I think that's accurate. I think that's accurate because at this point, a lot of people just expect it, and I think that's why this year was so special, the way that they won the championship. Because you look at the Aces, you're like, oh, they're supposed to win, but remember how many times they basically eluded a loss. I mean, Indiana pushed them in the playoffs, right? Seattle, they were a Jackie Young putback away from being out of there. Right? I mean, it's not like they just cruised through and just beat everyone down like they were Oklahoma City. I mean, they actually had to fight and scratch and claw. And then the finals, they get there and they just sweep them. So that was very Aces-like. But the whole path to the championship was totally different.
And I give a shout out to Becky Hammond and just the job that she did.
Fantastic
and
job.
Also the fact that A'ja Wilson was saying during a couple of the post-game opportunities that this past season, Becky Hammond allowed her to be a part of the game planning. So they're breaking down film, her and some other players. So if it comes down to crunch time, hey, you're the one that came up with this play. You're the one that came up with this design.
Right? Think about that. Jewel Lloyd.
How crazy.
And all her greatness.
Well, she struggled early,
Yeah, she said, Coach, I'm not getting it done.
Right.
Put me on the bench. Let me be part of the crew. Okay, cool. And it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the Raiders can learn a lot from the Aces.
They should.
It's their neighbors.
Walk next door,
I know. We'll see what happens there. All right, so guys, we have more Sin City Beat after these words as we continue our 2025 Vegas Sports Recap. All right, I hate to be a Grinch here on our special holiday edition of Sin City Beat, but what is the worst Vegas sports moment of the year? Case, I'm going to go to you first, even though you're not wearing a Grinch shirt. That's just green. You're not wearing anything Grinch, Tony. Okay, well, we're going to come back to Tony. But Case, worst Vegas sports moment of the year. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Well, you did once label me as the negative one on the show as it pertained to the Raiders, which I'll take my victory lap now for that. I'm kind of paralyzed by options with the Raiders. There's so many. I mean, they had 2 games where they lost 31-0. I know the Eagles is fresh in your mind because that was the most recent one, but the Chiefs one was like set records for offensive futility. It was like the fewest first downs in 20 years, so that one's got to be up there. There's just so many choices of the Raiders. Another one under the radar we kind of talked about off screen that I would say has to be a candidate. This is the worst 3 losses UNLV has ever taken in a single college basketball season. You're trying to get more hype into the program. Josh Pastner start. I still don't necessarily, I'm not writing them off, but losing to Tennessee State, Tennessee, Martin, and Montana, 3 teams not in the top 200, that's a really tough way to start a new coach.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. At the beginning of the show, we kind of only had Asia Wilson and the Aces to talk about, so we were very light. But now there's a lot of bad to break down, Q.
I think it's just the Raiders season in general. I don't think you have to individually point out one game. I think it's just the way that they've played. This season, a lot of people, including myself, had a lot of hope that this was going to get turned around. Not be a playoff team, but just be a competitive team, right? Compete, right? Pete Carroll was going to do something he does everywhere he goes. Let me let him tell it. And now, also, you turn into a couple wins throughout the course of the year, and you're fighting for the #1 spot in the draft. Like, everything has gone bad, right? So I would just say that the worst performance in Las Vegas has been the Raiders in general.
Yeah, it's probably the way
awful.
you got to go. Tony, are you feeling that? Are you? I mean, I thought maybe you would say something. UNLV Mountain West championship game against Boise.
I mean, they can't beat Boise. Boise has their numbers, so move on to the Pac-12, Boise State, and let's take it from there.
Okay.
But I would have to still go same thing with the Raiders and this season. And there's just been national television embarrassments. And as I said before, I'm not a Raiders fan per se, but I want them to win for the city. I definitely want them to win for our town and get this place popping and build a team that we could be proud of right here. And then a playoff team, a team that has playoff aspirations. I had them at 7 wins, 7, 8 wins.
7 or 8 wins felt
And so that's
fair.
a big disappointment. UNLV, give Josh Pastner a little bit of time here. He's had injuries. There were 2 kids coming in on crutches into the arena the other night again. Like, he's just had some bad luck with a lot of injuries, mostly foot injuries, which is really bizarre. But I think they'll be back. So I don't want to write them off like you said just yet.
Okay, Tony, if I'm going to stay with you here, let's just, for fun, we did Best Vegas Sports Athlete. We did, Best Sports Moment. Now we're talking worst sports moment. What about worst Vegas athlete or figure, sports figure?
Worst sport, man. Right now everyone's hating on Geno Smith. I mean, because he flipped off fans. I don't know where to go from here.
Yeah, that didn't help him at all. That did not help him at all.
And maybe worst is a bad way to frame it, but I guess just most disappointing. Who would you'd point the figure? It's the Geno Smith.
Yeah, it's the Geno Smith.
I think you got to point it at Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
He's the leader of the show, or at least appears to be the leader of the show, and it just, again, he comes in with a resume that says he's going to do this, and then he does that, right? And so I just think that it starts at the head of the snake, and it starts with Pete Carroll. And
we played hard.
I mean,
every week you're going to say we played hard.
Yeah, it's just
effort.
Not enough. I can go out there and play hard. Don't mean that you should put me out there as a starting corner, right? I mean, like I'll try. I'll give you everything I got, but it ain't gonna be good enough. I can promise you that. So it's just it's such a disappointment because Vegas is all of a sudden becoming an area that is used to winning. The Golden Knights have set the tone, right? The Aces have set the tone. You've seen the Aviators playing well. The Little Leagues team are playing well. And who's the one that's not carrying their weight? The Raiders.
Yeah.
They're the big disappointment in the city. As much as I hate to say it, it's the truth.
Yeah, Case.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with what Q said. Just since it was athlete, although Pete Carroll did break his hand or something trying to field a punt the other day. So
it could be figure.
I mean, Geno Smith is here because of Pete Carroll, so he's guilty by association. I would have a tough time between those two if he's eligible.
Okay. All right. See, it seems like there's a lot of bad when it comes to Vegas sports moments and the Raiders. But guys, there's still more Sin City Beat ahead. When we return, we're going to look to the future. We're going to come up with some bold predictions for 2026. All right, welcome back to Sin City Beat. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. It's time to talk some bold predictions. I'm very excited for this. We're going to talk bold predictions 2026. The panel, be as big and boisterous as you want to be. You can dream up anything, okay? So Tony,
the dreamer, the Pisces guy.
You're the dreamer. You're the most festive today too. So kick us off. Bold prediction for 2026. You could even associate this to my love life. You could say I could get engaged. Oh, so Q's already like, oh, that's too
over-under.
That's
Over-under
too
is
that went far.
Over-under is now set at 4.5 relationships for you. So I'll set that straight.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I would have to say, again, I said Calandria leaves UNLV on the show a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to stick with that. I still say the Raiders might have a chance if they get that right coach in there, if they draft the right way, if, as Q has said earlier, about getting Spytek to take over this team or to have that one leader and everything trickles down from there. I say there's no reason why they couldn't get 8 or 9 wins next season.
Okay, so let's just
you said be wild, right?
Let's break this down piece by piece. So at first we're saying Anthony Calandria.
But all those things have to happen.
So Calandria
is a $1 to $2 million guy.
So
and I'm hearing that he's in Coach Mullen's ear and in his office almost every day going, hey, who's in the portal? Who are we bringing in? What are we going to do? So that tells you, if they don't get it right with all the weapons here, he might leave.
So, okay, your prediction is he's going to leave. He will not be.
Virginia Tech is what I've said. He's going to go play against his former team.
And then you think the other bold prediction is that the Raiders are going to get a new head coach.
Yeah, clean it up.
And then they'll have
Pete retires. Pete will retire. I don't think, I don't think they're going to say forcibly you're out. I think he'll just go, this is enough. They come to a settlement and he's gone.
Okay.
And then he goes back to USC and teaches classes there. And then, Spytek, they have to draft right. And they're going to be in the right position, no matter what. Even if in the last few weeks they win games, which they shouldn't do. Last year they didn't know how to tank. You can attest. And they're still going to have a high draft pick. They'll get the QB of the future and start to get those building blocks in place. Get offensive and defensive linemen. You have to win in the trenches.
Okay,
first.
A lot of bold predictions there. Case, let's hear it. You can give us a few bold predictions.
I got a couple. Well, I thought Tony's first wasn't bold enough, but then he way overcorrected. Way too bold in the second one. 9 wins. So he's got a happy middle. I think both of mine are in between. My first one was positive, and I thought it wasn't bold enough, so I came up with a negative. First for the positive, also involving UNLV football. I think Calandria is probably going to leave. I don't know if they can keep up the money he's going to demand elsewhere. Still, with that, I think it's kind of a bold prediction because it's been 32 years, I think. I think they win a conference championship next year. I think they knock down the door, finally
That's
win the
bad
Mountain
conference.
West.
They should win.
That's why I said not bold enough.
Yeah.
So then my more negative one, which I still think is more likely than the Raiders winning 9 games, I'm going to say the Aces do not get to the WNBA Finals in their title defense season. I think a lot of things went right down the stretch, taking nothing away from this. Celebrate it, cherish it, but there were a lot of injuries in the league, a lot of personnel moves that just worked out perfectly. It's hard to do that year after year. So I'll say the Aces fall before the championship. UNLV will be the champion at this time next year.
Now, of course, just a little bit of context for that. Boise State, San Diego State, a bunch of schools leaving the Mountain West to go join the Pac-12. So it's going to be a lot different, a lot easier to capture that title in the Mountain West.
Still been 30 plus years. You can't
I've been here.
It's still a big deal.
It's still
a big deal because it hasn't happened.
I've been here for all of them.
Before I go to Q, Case, do you have any bold predictions for the Raiders for 2026?
Bold predictions for the Raiders. I'm really trying. I think they're going to nail the draft. How about that? Positive for the Raiders, something I have not been very much. I think you give John Spytek the full keys. Some of the draft picks he's been linked to in Tampa have really worked out. I think Spytek is going to do a great job in this draft, and we're going to be way more excited about the 2026 class than we are about the 2025.
Does that nailing that draft, does that look like a quarterback? Does that look O-line? What does that look like?
Quarterback in the first round and then a lot of trading down, kind of like we saw this year. They're going to have another huge class, like 10 guys. And unlike this year, I think a lot of them are going to pop more right away.
Okay, so just to keep up with our housekeeping, you're saying Aces do not make the finals. You're saying UNLV football wins the Mountain West title, and you're saying the Raiders are going to nail the draft.
Nothing for the Golden Knights? You know, nothing for the Golden Knights?
I know.
I just think they're one of the.
I'm not feeling it.
I think they're one of the best teams in the NHL, but I don't think they're going to get past Colorado. So I think they're going to hit expectations. They're going to get to the Western Conference.
They're going to have to make some big trades here, at the trade deadline.
They're willing to do that.
Before I go to Q, an over/under
Defense still a suspect
on my
to me.
relationship status for 2026 Case?
I'm really an optimistic. I'm taking the under 4.5 easily.
Okay.
I think you find the
I think
right
you're gonna
one.
find
That's
the
a
right
great
one,
year
man.
for
You're
you.
gonna find the right one.
Exactly.
Hey, you know, I'm evaluating, you know, talent like.
Are your
Pete Carroll.
DMs open today? Are they open, your DMs?
They're always perpetually open.
He's gonna swipe right. He's gonna swipe left. He's gonna jump up and down.
How did we get to
I got
this?
confidence in you, man.
Thank
I got
you. All
confidence,
right,
man.
Q, bold predictions 2026.
The Raiders are going to hire a head of football operations, and he's going to be the guy, or she's going to be the person, whoever it is, that makes all the decisions.
And that's not a position currently in
No,
being
they don't.
held.
They don't currently have that. That's what everyone thought Tom Brady's role was going to be, but he's a minority owner and a Fox broadcaster. I think he has to make a decision. I think he has to make a decision. What does he really want to do? If you're going to be hands-on with this team, be hands-on with this team. But you can't be a weekend father. Like, it's cool, right? Taking little Johnny out to get pizza on Saturday is great,
Yeah.
but you have to be there to do Johnny's homework too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't just pick the good times to roll in that kind of fashion. So I think that they pick a head of football operations. I think they get a sharp young head coach that's going to be a defensive-minded guy, meaning they have to go find a sharp offensive mind, and that's going to be dangerous because if they do find that guy and he's good, you know what happens, then that's when he becomes a potential head coach. But that's something to worry about if they find success and they'll get their quarterback.
Does Patrick Graham stay?
No, I think this whole staff's gone.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
staff's going
I
to
think so. I think
and
so.
do you have a prediction on that quarterback?
I think it comes down to Mendoza or Moore. I don't know if Moore is going to come out. There's a lot of money in Nike. I know how much money I've invested in Nike, so I know how much money they have. Right, they have plenty of it. So I just think that that's a decision he has to make. But I like both those guys. I think both the guys are really good. I think the ceiling for Moore might be a little higher than it is for Mendoza. But if you want him to come in and play right now, especially with his size, 6'5", and everything, I mean, he can sling the ball around the yard. He's been comped to get Goff and Kirk Cousins, and I know that's not going to wow anybody, but Goff has been able to win. And Goff was a number 1 overall pick, so I don't think that the Raiders would be doing too bad if they end up with a guy like Jared Goff.
Okay. All right, guys.
There you go.
I mean, what a show. We're wishing you a happy, a healthy new year, a Merry Christmas. I want to thank Q. I want to thank Case. I want to thank Tony. Thank you so much for spending so much time this year with us here on Sin City Beat. For editor Jess, producer James, Daphne, our whole production team, I'm Mike Davis. We're wishing you a very happy, healthy new year, and we'll see you in 2026 for some more great sports moments.
Peace.